I am so glad you are here. It is Herby Thursday in my world. I'm Liz, and let's talk about the wonder and beauty that is Oatstraw, Earth of Venus. Wow, that's what those triangles and symbols say. So, Earth, right, of Venus. Wow, magically. So, we're talking about something that should help you stay calm, cool, collected, and still be able to negotiate, still be able to manage multiple things at once, still be able to appreciate the finer things of life. We're talking about Oatstraw. And you know what? The beauty of this herb is that's kind of its reputation in herbalism, in the medicinal side of herbs, as well as the magical side. This is an herb that people have used for millennia. It's a Eurasian herb. You don't see it so much on the far end of Asia, but it does go into Asia and definitely all of Europe where the climate's appropriate. It's this amazing little herb that it has so much folklore to it. There were times historically in some cultures where when farmers planted this crop, oats, set the calendar for the year. It determined the date. That's how centrally focused some societies have been on oats, oat straw, and all of the wonderful things you can do with it, and how it supports our bodies, minds, and spirits. So it's been used mostly to do things that we have wound up associating with feeding the nervous system to keep it healthy and feeding the adrenals to keep them healthy. Stressing out, this herb is not going to make you collapse into a puddle. It's not a hammer that's going to knock you out, but it is going to be sort of a little gentle breeze beneath your wings, helping you soar. So historically, think of this herb as the straw itself, not the oats, not the oatmeal, but the straw itself. Think of this as an herb that we have turned to again and again through the centuries, culture to culture, to help buoy our spirits. So it's even been associated with exorcising evil because it's been used to help us see the good side of life a little better. And I will say one thing for this little guy. It's lots of silica in here. So this is something that people associate with nails and hair and recovery after a long workout. But I will also add that if I have a tiny little cut in my cuticle, which is this part of the nail right here, if there's one of those little cuts some of us get sometimes, I drink this and I watch it go away much faster than it does on its own. Not making any claims, so don't know what's good for you, but this is a pretty gentle, pretty safe herb if you want to just try something. If you just want to experiment and see what it's like. I would not eat this. Very stick-like for such a nice, soft, like it's grass, basically. It's a form of grass, Avena sativa. It's from the grass family. But the silicon kind of gives it some structure. So I wouldn't chomp on this. I wouldn't toss this in my salad. But a tea is lovely. It's absolutely divine. It's a light taste, a light, slightly green taste. And it's so much fun. So if you feel like you've been flagging a little lately, maybe you've seen a cut in those cuticles, and you want to try something that's relatively safe. Look, I don't have any. We mark these jars for safety. If there's someone out there who can't take it because they have a particular ailment or they're on a particular medication, we give these babies a blue box, front and top. If they shouldn't have it because they're pregnant, maybe if they're nursing, but we didn't want to use all the colors of the rainbow, we will give this a little yellow box. And if somebody shouldn't eat it at all, it's got a red box. So we have things that have a blue and a yellow box. We have things that have the red box or the blue or the yellow. This is nothing. This is generally recognized as safe. Would I recommend that you make 40 cups of tea and drink them in a day? Well, no, that would be insane. But if you want to try a cup or two or even 3 in a day, where you're using a teaspoon and you're going ahead and steeping that in a mug of hot water, give it a shot. Add other things. Get creative. Have some fun with it. Maybe do it with a little green tea if you're into that. They would actually go really well together now that I think about it. Give it a shot if you want. Always play safe when you're playing with herbs. Of course, this is a pretty safe bet to play with. Anybody can be allergic to anything, so, test taste always. And if you hate it, don't have more. Have fun, play safe, and hopefully we'll see you again here next Thursday just to dive into one more little fun herb for a few minutes. In the meantime, I and the rest of the crew here at Megas Books and Herbs in Minneapolis and online at megasbooks.com, we want to thank you for being your amazing, magical you. We love that about you. And of course, for the little magical things you can do right here in social media land. I know you know what they are. Blessed be, folks. Bye-bye.